Hello, welcome to the video. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about Revelation chapter 20, verse 3, where it talks about casting the bottomless pit, and Revelation 19, thrown in the lake of fire, okay, the beast and the false prophet, okay. So, if we go to Revelation 20, verse 3, casting the bottom, look at the Greek lexicon for a second here. The abyss, it's bottomless. Okay, so this is obviously not physical. This is describing a spiritual state um, that referring to the serpent, the devil. Okay, so it's not an actual physical. Think about it. It's not unless you talk about a black hole or something. Okay. So it's obviously referring to something that's spiritual. All right. And I think the same thing is going on here, Revelation 19. And the beast was seen, and this I believe this was referring to the first beast, Nero, the singular beast, not the corporate beast, being the Roman Empire. That was there are multiple beasts here. There's beasts from the land and there's beasts from the sea. Okay, the first beast from the sea, the singular, was Nero, and the corporate was Rome. Okay, and then the beast from the land was what the Jews who rejected Christ, Jerusalem. Okay, anytime the Greek word Gaia is used, it really should be referred to as land, not earth. Unfortunately, the translated earth, turning into some big, huge entire earth type scenario rather than the land I was actually talking about that was dear to Israel, the land of Israel, which was centered around Jerusalem. Okay, I shouldn't say the land of Israel because Israel at that time, it considered Jews wherever they were at. Okay, and there were Jews in every nation. If you go to Acts chapter 2 verse 5. It's not like today we have a nation of Israel, just a little piece of land. Okay, it wasn't like that. It was like that with the stick of Judah, with the Israelite day as far as geographic location, where the Jews who were centered around the temple in Jerusalem, they were the stick of Judah. They were the ones that determined the canon of Scripture. They were the ones that the Christ centered on. Okay, the Jews who were scattered throughout the Roman Empire were the stick of Joseph. They were the Hellenistic Jews, or the Jews who adopted Greek culture. Okay. Anyway, I don't mean to go off course here, but anyway, the false prophet performed signs in present, which he deceived those who had received the mark of the beast. Not this, the mark of the beast is an invisible mark, not something you can see. These were the Jews who were offering sacrifices to Caesar. They were the ones who rejected Christ, the perfect sacrifice to Christ. And you're continuing on with the sacrifice of the animals for Caesar. Remember, they cried out, "We have no king but Caesar. Let his blood be on us and our children." Okay, if we go back to all the way back to year 30 A.D. Okay, and those who worship his image, okay, they worship Caesar. Okay, they didn't worship Christ. These were the Jews who rejected Christ. These two were thrown alive in a lake of fire burned with brimstone. So brimstone here, significant brimstone, has to do associated with God's justice against unrighteousness. Okay, so so Nero being the beast that seized here, he feared getting murdered after being declared enemy of the state by the Roman Senate. Okay, keep in mind, up to that point, he was murdering people in the most vicious way. Now it was haunting him. He even murdered his own mother. Okay, it was now backfiring on him big time. How is he going to get murdered? It was so, he was in such agony to the point where he killed himself. Okay, so that's what's being described here, being thrown in a lake of fire. It's not actual physical fire. It's a mental state that he was in. So it got to the point where he just killed himself with a knife or a sword, if you will. And so the rest were killed with the sword which came from the mouth of him who sat on the horse. Okay, and all the birds filled with their flesh. So that's I would believe that would be referring to the sword of the Spirit of Christ. So Christ, there in May 2nd of AD 66, and around that time, there's a lot of signs in the sky that was occurring. And Josephus was eyewitnesses to that, and Tacitus as well. And so he saw a whirlwind of chariots. Okay, that brings up Isaiah chapter 65. Talks about the chariots, and so in all likelihood, Christ. I'm going to talk about Revelation 19, riding on a horse. That's probably one. He was probably one of them amongst the soldiers up there. I know it's kind of crazy what he saw, but he described it. You should go to my timeline. I had the sources for that. You should go where May 2nd of AD 66, the link, Josephus' word link. It brings you right to it. Okay, and then also Tacitus too, the link for that. So, but the point I'm trying to make here, the lake of fire here, it has to do with the spiritual reality they were in. Just like here in the bottomless pit, we see here, it's bottomless. So that cannot be a physical reality. It has to be a reality of spiritual reality, a mental state they were in. Okay, so that's all I want to point out. So Revelation 20 verse 3. Actually, oops, I gotta go to verse 3 here. Looked at the wrong for into the abyss. Okay, same thing. Same boundless, bottomless. Okay, into the abyss. Okay. So the reason I bring this up, because I had a conversation a while ago. I point out Nero with the beast, and the person, well, he wasn't thrown into a lake of fire. Now he was cremated. Okay, that's about the closest thing we can get to the physical realm of fire. But again, I think it's describing the mental state that he was in. And as far as who the false prophet, well, there are many false prophets at that time. I would have to do more research to find out who actually was. I spent a little bit of time on it. I was not very successful. But there were many false prophets at that time. Josephus recorded reading false prophets. Throughout the New Testament, they were warned false prophets numerous times. I think there's a couple passages where false prophets were mentioned that had taken place at the time. So it wasn't just Josephus being eyewitness, but the scriptures themselves. So as far as who that actually was, I don't know at this point. You think you know? I'd love to see how who you came up with, and how you came up with that. So anyway, that's all I have to say, and thank you very much for watching, and hope you have an awesome day.